Again, welcome. In this class, we will see that is a concept relating to calculation of commission. To whom the commission has to pay? But to the consignee. By whom? By consignor. On what basis? When the goods are sold by the consignee on consignment basis. Consignment alli enadru goods na sale madidre, he has to pay the commission. Now, what are the commission are there in the consignment? That is our commission is a remuneration paid by the consignee by the consignor for the services rendered by the consignee in selling the consigned goods. Right here, consignor has to pay the commission, that is a remuneration to the consignee for what purpose? Selling the goods on behalf of consignor. Next one. Another first one is ordinary commission. Word alle heltide ordinary commission or normal commission. It is an amount of commission which is payable on total sales proceeds when he is not responsible for bad debts. The ordinary commission can be calculated in the following ways: commission per unit into unit sold, and another way also commission percentage on total sales. Very simple. Ordinary commission or normal commission, here it is paid by consignor to the consignee when the consignee is not responsible for bad debts. What is bad debts? When a person sold the goods to some other person on credit basis, when he is not able to repay the amount to the sold person within a time, then bad debts will be arises in the books of accounts. So, when such bad debts is not taken care by the consignee, that is what we call ordinary commission. ಏನು total sales ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೋ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ that is ordinary commission. Again, it is payable on two way: commission per unit into unit sold. That is for example, that is rupees 50 rupees for unit for 1000 units sold. 1000 into 50, that is 50,000 is a commission. And another way, commission on percentage of total sales. Your total sales will be 50,000. On 10% of total sales means that is 5,000. Two way of commission he can able to get in ordinary commission. Very simple. That I will explain when it comes to problem thoroughly. Next, del creditor commission. When it comes to ordinary commission, he is not responsible for bad debts collection. But when it comes to del creditor commission, the commission paid to the consignee when he is responsible for bad debts. ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ನ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದನೋ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ ಅವನೇ ಅದರದ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಗ then at that time del creditor commission will be payable to the consignee by the consignor. The commission paid to the consignee when he is responsible for bad debts incurred out of credit sales effected by him, called as del creditor commission. When the del creditor commission is paid to the consignor need not to bear the bad debts arising due to the credit sales made by the consignee. When bad debts responsibility taken care by the consignee, here the consignor need not to worry about the collection of the bad debts, because solely responsible will be taken by whom? That is the consignee. Suppose another way it comes up, he is responsible for the bad debts, but when the consignor does not pay the del creditor commission, then in such case, then the entire responsibility of the credit sales and the collection from the debtors belongs to consignor. Del creditor commission ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಬಟ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ at that time, so the consignor himself will be responsible for the, that is the collection of the bad debts and the when he sold the goods on credit basis. Next, how to pay the del creditor commission? Del creditor commission percentage on total sales. Again, he will going to take the percentage on total sales. Next one. Next, overriding commission. Overriding, that is above the sales. Above the sales. It is an extra commission payable by the consignor when the consignor sold goods above the specified price of the goods. Right. Here, consignor says some amount, ಇಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. But with the extra effort made by the consignee sold the goods for extra amount. Such difference amount, that is called a surplus amount. On surplus amount he will going to pay the commission, that is called overriding commission. That is think out of the box ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮದೇ ಆದಂಥ ವೇನಲ್ಲಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿನೇ ತನ್ನಗೆ ಬಂದಿರೋಂಥ ಒಂದು ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ನ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಪರ್ಸ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ನ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ whatever on his own efforts he is selling the goods for extra price, that is called a surplus amount. On surplus amount any commission paid, that is called overriding commission. We'll see one example. The consignor sent goods value of 15,000 for sale. When the consignee sold the goods for 17,000, then the overriding commission paid on extra amount of sales. That is, the value of the goods sent is how much? 15,000, but it is sold for how much? 17,000. 17,000 sales amount minus value of the goods, the difference amount is how much? 2,000. This is called surplus amount. On this surplus amount he will pay the percentage of commission, that is called as overriding commission. In certain problem he will going to specify total sales ಮೇಲೆ overriding commission ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. In two way he can able to pay, that is on surplus amount or total sales, that is depends on the agreement. Now again we'll see with the calculation of loss of goods, right? The amount and the quantity of the goods lost in consignment are called as loss of goods. Those losses lead to increases the unit cost prices, right? Now when a goods sent by the consignor to the consignee during the transit and during the when the goods are stored in the godown, at that time the goods can be spoiled or can be damaged. At that time the loss will be arises on the consignment, right? There are two, that is normal losses and abnormal losses. Normal losses, when goods are damaged due to normally expected but unavoidable causes such as losses due to evaporation, leakage, breakage, drying, etc. Right? He knows that it will be happen, but certain cases it cannot be unavoidable. Right? ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೇನೆ leakage ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. Right? At that time, so it cannot be avoided. That's why it will not increases the cost of the goods, but the unit of the goods will decreases. Right? Next one, Arun sent 1,000 units of water bottle at 20 each to Anand. Arun is a consignor, Anand is a consignee. Consignor sent 1,000 units of water bottle at 20 each. Water bottle ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ಆನಂದ್ಗೆ. During the transit 4% of the water bottle got damage ಆಗೋಯ್ತು. ಸೊ it is normal loss, right? ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅನ್ಅವಾಯ್ಡಬಲ್. ಒಂದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಹಾಕೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಲಾಸ್. ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಕೇರ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಲಾಸಸ್. Right? How to calculate the losses of unit? That is 1,000 unit into 4% means that is 40 units. This 40 unit should be minus on the goods center. 1,000 only 40 units now say minus ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು remaining goods for the sale purpose ಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. That is 960. Next one, abnormal losses. Very much important. You will get it in the calculation of the calculation problem. ಅಲ್ಲಿ calculation ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. The losses happen on the grounds of unexpected reason. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೇನೆ ಕಾರಣಗಳಿಂದ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು abnormal losses ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. These losses are beyond the human being control. That cannot be controlled by the human being, even if they are taken precaution measure ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರು ಏನಾಗಬಹುದು. So it can be happened. There is on the loss of goods due to fire. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Flood, earthquake, war, theft, accident in the transit, etc. So these are all called as what? Abnormal losses. Right? Now these losses fully or partially can be recovered from the insurance company. So they can able to go with the insurance company, they can insure on the goods and they can able to claim the amount. Next, we'll see with one example. Number of unit consigned is 200 units. Then the cost per unit is how much? That is 80. and non-recurring expenses up to the losses is 800. The number of abnormal losses in transit is 5 unit. Now, that is the solution. Calculation of abnormal loss value. How much loss has been spent by the abnormal particular amount? How much goods are sent? That is the cost of 200 units. Per unit is how much? 80. 200 into 80. The value of the goods sent is how much? That is 16,000. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ non-recurring expenses of the consignor to be added. Now, non-recurring expenses of the consignor is how much? That is 800. Maybe insurance ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, then freight ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, carriage ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, package ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. So whatever, in different way they can able to go with the non-recurring expenses that should be added to the goods center. So 16,000 plus 800. That the goods in transit how much? 16,800. This 16,800 is for how much goods? That is for the 200 units. Now, how much abnormal goods estimated? That is 5%. Not 5%. 5 units has been lost by the abnormal loss. Abnormal loss because ಎಷ್ಟು unit loss ಆಗಿದೆ? 5 unit. So, in order to know the value of the abnormal loss, so we have to cross multiply. If the 200 unit ಗೆ 16,800 ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ 5 unit ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? That we can go. The reason 200 unit ಗೆ 16,800 ಆದರೆ 5 minutes ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು? You do the cross multiply. 16,800 into 5 divided by 200, then you will get what? That is 420 rupees will be the abnormal loss of 5 units. That's how we go to calculate the abnormal losses. Now, next is, that is a calculation of third one. We have seen in the that is chart. There is a calculation of our value of closing stock or unsold stock. Now, from it, calculation of goods. First one is we have to go with the, that is the first step, calculation of goods available for sale. ಎಷ್ಟು goods sale purpose ಗೆ available ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿತಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Particulars, quantity, amount. When it comes to particulars, first one is ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ಸೈನ್ಡ್. ಏನು ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ನ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಯಾರು ಕನ್ಸೈನರ್ ಇಂದ ಕನ್ಸೈನ್ಗೆ, ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ, ಅಮೌಂಟ್, ಅದನ್ನ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ಆಡ್ ನಾನ್ ರಿಕರಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕನ್ಸೈನರ್. ನಾನ್ ರಿಕರಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕನ್ಸೈನರ್ ಆಡ್ ಟು ದಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್, ದೆನ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ವಾಟ್? ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ಲೆಸ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಟ್. Normal loss, it is a loss incurred during the transit. It can be predict, but it cannot be. It is unavoidable. So it will not increase the cost of the goods, but it varies the units. ಏನು ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಲಾಸು ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯೂನಿಟ್ ನ ಲೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಲಾಸಸ್. Next, abnormal loss in transit. We have seen in the calculation how to calculate the abnormal loss. So abnormal loss unit ಮತ್ತೆ value na ಏನು ಮಾಡಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ then we will get goods received by the consignee. Right? Goods sent by the consignor add non-recurring expenses less normal loss unit in the unit column and amount column, then abnormal loss in transit unit and value. So ಎರಡು ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಇಷ್ಟು ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? So that is the goods received by the consignee. Next, again, when it is when the goods is received by the consignee, he will not sell the goods immediately. He has to store the goods right up. That is again a non-recurring expenses of the consignee also should be added back to the value of such goods. That is non-recurring expenses of the consignee like unloading charges, packing charges, then again any freight, octroi. So that has to be added back. But keep remember, recurring expenses will not be added to the cost of goods. Why? Because recurring expenses will be added to the it will be recorded in the profit and loss account. Here it will not be taken. Next one. less again normal loss in go down ಏನಾದರೂ normal loss ಏನಾದರೂ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ನ ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಗೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಲಾಸಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಏನಾದರೂ ಫೈರ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ರೀಸನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿದಾಗ so that is abnormal loss, that minus then finally will be called as what, that is goods available for sale. These two goods available here. Next step number 2, that is calculation of closing stock or unsold stock value. How to calculate the unsold stock? Goods available for sale minus goods sold. For example, goods available for sale is how much? That is 10,000 units and value will be 1 lakh, and sold is how much? 9,000 and the value is 90,000, and the remaining is what is called, that is goods available, that is unsold goods, 1,000. Now in order to know the value of closing stock, that is goods available for sale in rupees, that is goods available for sale in rupees divided by goods available for sale in quantity into unsold stock, then we will get the value of closing stock. Very simple. That is the first step is what? That is a calculation of goods available for sales, that we have to find out with the quantity and value. And step number 2, calculation of closing stock or unsold stock, that is unsold stock is equal to goods available for sales minus sales proceeds, and the value of closing stock will be goods available for sale in rupees divided by goods available for sale in quantity into unsold stock will be called as, so that is the value of closing stock. Right. Next we will see with the, that is the preparation of the ledger account, or that is accounting treatment in the consignment in the next class. Thank you so much. Again we will see with the next all the new that is the commission ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, abnormal loss ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, next ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ calculation of the closing stock, one by one we are going to see. Thank you so much guys. Please go to the that is classes.